Hi everyone, it's Kerry here. Welcome back to History2304A, Social and Cultural History of Canada. Joined today by Timmy the Wonder Kitty from Parts Unknown. There he is. Bye Tim. Um, just a very short video today, just to talk about the assignment that I've just recently put up on Brightspace. The assignment deals with, it's the reading response assignment that I asked you to look at, and you'll now see all of the instructions and a bit of a rubric embedded into it, just talking about the various percentages I'll assign each section. One of the things about society, particularly in recent years, is the propensity for wanting to commemorate a site, an individual, an event, so on and so forth. And I think I was talking about that in the last lecture or last video I talked about. So what we're going to be looking at are the national designations from the Historic Sites and Monuments Board of Canada. And there's about 750 odd sites, people, events that are commemorated with historical plaques, or the actual house has been preserved. We have lots of them here in Ottawa. Laurier House is deemed historically significant, largely because Laurier was living there, so on and so forth. But what I'm looking for here in this assignment is just some discussion about the whole notion as a culture of what we commemorate, what we see as historically significant, why we see it as historically significant, and more to the point, do notions of historical significance change over time? When you go into the database, think of an event, think of a site that interests you. Really focus on those ones that interest you. And one, hopefully, that you'll learn something about when you go on to that site. Take a look at when it was designated, why they have assessed this to have historical significance. And I think more to the point, though, would that site, would that event now be considered historically significant? If you were to go up to, say it was designated historically significant, say in 1950, would it still be? More to the point, would the analysis be the same? If they're commemorating a trading post, a Hudson's Bay trading post, they would focus probably in the 1950s on the explorers that established the post and the nature of the trade. Would we be looking at it from a different perspective? Would we be looking at it from an Indigenous perspective at this point? And the relationship between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. I'll give you an example, though, of what I'd be looking for. So if you were to go into the database and type in Wilberforce, Wilberforce is a small town in Ontario, you'll see that there is a historical plaque that commemorates the nursing station that was established there. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, the building's still there too. Now, the interpretation that's given is that this was a nursing station staffed by nurses, generally female, which is a nice nod in their direction. But one of the things that's really interesting about the text, when you read the text and the explanation behind it, is that these nursing stations were serving the colonization efforts of people as they moved further into northern Ontario. Now, colonization at that point was seen as a good thing when that plaque was, or when that designation was made. Now, not so much. So have a look at some of them. Explore. You've got all year. As I noted in the assignment, there is no due date for this, provided that you give it to me before the end of the term, winter term. The amount of space that's required, no less than 2, no more than 4 double-spaced pages, plus your references if you're using some. I know there'll be a lot of questions, but we'll deal with those in due course. And as you know, Natalie Cross has announced that she is our teaching assistant. She'll kill me for this, but she is a wonderful individual, first-rate mind. By all means, don't hesitate to reach out to her or to myself if you have any questions or concerns. Start thinking about your essay topics. I hope you enjoy the lectures this week, or the lecture this week. It's now up on the Brightspace page. And I hope that all of you have a very, very good week. Take very good care of yourselves. For those of you who are on campus, please be extra careful, but enjoy the ambience of Carleton. I hope to be on the campus at some point in the not too distant future. Take very good care of yourselves. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.